Hey, it's Gill.
And here's some tea we're about to spill
About what life is like being 20.
some things. It's 20.
Let's go. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's now 2020.
Oh my god. It's the new decade.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so both of us are kind of nervous because we're doing something different for the new year.
Yes, it's a New Year special. So we're having a
MUKBANG
Yay!
while doing the podcast.
And there's a video on it. We're actually doing it right now. This is for our Spotify listeners, since you can't see it. So there's also a video, just so you know.
Yes.
Yes.
Video and audio. Whoops.
Whoops.
Okay.
Okay. So do you want to discuss the food?
Okay. I think we have a very simple spread, but it's all goodies and it's all
Yes.
everything that we actually like eating.
It's not the regular mukbang where there's a lot. We can't eat a lot.
Oh yeah, we can't.
Sorry.
Both of us have really small stomachs. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'll start with my favorite part of the
Okay.
meal. It's the Uncle John's fried chicken from Mini
Stop.
Stop. Oops, can you even see it?
Let's give it a hand for Mini Stop chicken.
Yay! Actually, it's one of my favorite chickens.
Yeah.
Fried chickens. It's really good, no?
Yeah, me too. Same.
I think the only
That
problem
and
is...
Chicken Joy.
Yeah. I think the only problem is they usually refry this, so sometimes it tastes a bit too oily
Oh,
na.
really? I didn't know that. Fun fact. Okay, my next, this was my choice, which is the Greenwich lasagna.
Woo,
This has always been my
lasagna.
favorite, yeah.
Really? You know, I think I haven't tried it pa.
I hope you like it.
Okay, I think I will.
Yes.
I trust your choices.
Okay.
Okay, the next one. Oh my god, they're almost done with their food. The next one is this bowl of picnic cheese balls. Is that what it's called? Picnic cheese balls. Yay!
It's a new thing. We just saw it at 7-Eleven and we're like, okay, let's go ahead and buy it. Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
And then the next one is this potato corner mega fries, barbecue and sour cream, and it's
Almost done.
almost done because we've been eating it in the car.
Yay! And because of Steph's recommendation and because we're so Chinese,
Yes.
we're using chopsticks for the pika pika food so
Yeah,
that
so-
our fingers don't get dirty.
True.
Yes.
Life tip. And of course, let's not forget rice, the staple.
And milk tea.
Oh yeah, and I also have my Schlurp.
I think we
This
mentioned
is
it.
my favorite milk tea.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it in a previous episode.
The one where we got drunk.
Yes.
So I love that episode.
Yeah.
One more of that this year.
Yes!
Yes.
Pero we sound
Okay.
very coherent, no? even if you were drinking.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Dig in? Or do we talk about like
dig
what
in the food, dig
what we-
in the topic.
Ay,
Oh yeah,
okay.
let's give them a overview of
Okay.
what's gonna happen in this episode other than eating. So you're gonna hear a lot of crunch crunch, clink clink. Choo,
Bite
choo.
bite. Yeah.
Okay, what's the overview?
Okay, sorry. Okay, so for this episode, since it's the new year, you know,
Yes.
what better way to start it than doing our New Year's
Resolutions.
resolutions? But of course, we can't talk about this year's resolutions without discussing what what we talked, what
the resolutions we had in 2019.
and how we did,
or did it.
and what we plan to continue, I guess, for this
Yes.
year. And then to make things more fun while we're eating. Okay, so the thing with Steph and I is I feel like we attract unluckiness
We're
into
awkward.
our lives.
We're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
awkward.
We are.
We're prone to
Accidents that only
Mishaps.
that are very, how do you say it? Like, it's not normal. It's not like, because there are normal mishaps, like you trip over. Ours is just like very weird. Like, it only
Yeah.
happens to us. So, like, after we talk about the resolutions, we're planning to play a game to one-up each other on who has experienced the more awkward moments in their lives.
So-
What does the winner get? Bragging rights.
Yeah, probably. So comment down below who you think will win.
Ah.
Cast your bets in the comment section down below.
This girl.
Yes.
I had to dig deep
That's what
to
she thinks.
Oh, it's on then.
It's on. It's on.
It's on.
Yeah.
Okay, should we start eating first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What?
This is so funny. Alam mo yung part na parang, Okay, wait. I want to get the lasagna.
I wanna get the fries. We have sour cream and barbecue. Sour cream for me, barbecue for Jillian.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the cheese ball yet.
It's good. Pero I feel like it's too airy. I don't know. What do you think?
ASMR crunchy.
Lasagna's good.
Diba? Oh, I should get lasagna.
Let me get the ball. Another ball. Oh no, I'm scared. I have a bad habit of opening my mouth when I'm eating.
Oh no, it's okay. Now everyone knows.
Wait, I will get the chicken. Oops, oh no, a ball fell.
It's okay. I'll grab that. It's still clean. It's on the table mat.
Are you gonna eat the breadstick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the breadstick? Oh.
Yeah. Is this difficult? How do mukbangers do
when
it?
did they start talking?
Yeah.
And stop eating?
Yeah.
Or do they
right.
do it at the same time?
I think they do.
They do? Oh, sorry.
Or I think they're like taste, eat, taste, and then they talk, and then they eat, taste, and then they talk again.
So do you want to start now?
Okay. So the first part of today's episode is we are going to talk about our 2020 New Year's resolutions and look back on our 2019. Okay, so for me, for my 2019 resolutions, your girl wanted to be an overachiever. So for my 2019 resolutions, I actually did the notebooks here. I actually did a acronym for I wanted my 2019 to be. And the acronym was, yeah, I know, right?
Maybe I shouldn't have let you go first. This is going to be embarrassing for me.
Why?
I'm an underachiever with my goals. Oh, I go.
Well, because I overachieved. I don't think I did even one, or I didn't do it well. Anyways, my word or like my acronym for the year was growth. I don't know if you can see this. Do you see that? Should I like put it closer or no? Okay, so I call it growth. So G is for God, R is for relationships. My God, as in, right? O is for opportunities, W is for wealth, T is for travel, and H is for health. So parang what I did was I had the acronym for the year, and then I had like big thematic buckets. So like, you know what I said, God, relationships, and then underneath each one I had a task to do and to fulfill in that year. So for example, it's a lot eh. Okay, I see it now. Sorry, I forgot now what the page looked like. So I had the top sheet, the summary, and then I had the per bucket. So like it has God, and then it has what is your main goal with regard to the bucket.
Yeah.
So I was like, to deepen my relationship with God. And then next I have the how will you achieve it. So I listed down like the necessary steps, I guess, to be able to do it. But then after the God one, like I wasn't able to like, wala na, it gone. Because, I don't know eh. I think I what do you call that? Like, my head was too...
Life happened.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I was just doing it in one day. Like, I was starting off with the God, and then I was like, I'll just do this later. And then I never got back into doing it. So, essentially, I didn't fulfill any of my 2019 goals. Boo.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, let me see. Wait. I have notes.
Not even God?
Not to the level that I wanted.
Sorry, Lord.
I know.
Wait, do you want my balat?
Yes, please.
Okay, so fun fact, I don't like chicken skin. So here's some chicken skin.
Yay! Really, you don't like?
Yeah, I don't like.
Yay! More for me.
So back when we were kids, all my cousins would argue who gets to sit next to Steph. You know why?
Why?
Because I don't like my balat. I don't like my taba. I don't like all the things people like. I don't like wings, diba? So everyone wants to sit next to me so they can get my balat, my not my literal balat, like my chicken balat, you know. So there, that's a fun fact. So it's always all of theory, you know. What I don't want, you want, yes.
Okay, noted. So whenever we have dinners together with other groups of people, I know who I'm sitting next to.
Yes.
So what happened was, as I've mentioned, I kind of overachieved. I was like, oh my God, 2019 is gonna be my year. I'm gonna do everything that I've set out to do. And I think because I was like wanting to do a lot of things, I kind of did nothing essentially. So let me review each and every letter.
Okay.
Because even though I failed, I have specific reasons why I failed. So, okay, for God, so I wanted to deepen my relationship with God. But because, okay, how I did it was I had my main goal, right? And then I put, what are the steps that I needed to do to achieve it? And because I feel like I put a lot of different steps, I didn't focus on what mattered the most for me to be able to achieve that goal. Like, I wasn't focused. Like, I didn't actually direct myself. Like, it was all over the place. It was like, join a D group, go to a retreat, do a devotional book, read the Bible every day, have your quiet time. And it's like, there's so many things and there's so many aspects to it that I guess, in a way, I felt overwhelmed. And because I felt overwhelmed, I just did not do it anymore. So like that, there. So like the God thing was goodbye. For the relationships, I wrote grow current relationships and be open to new ones. So I felt like in a way, maybe I was able to achieve some part of this goal because I felt like I was able to say yes to more things with more friends and was open to, and I was open to more experiences, to more new experiences with different people. So that was kind of...
It's a win, it's a win.
Okay. And then for opportunities, I put here finding the right career and maybe opening a side business. I told you, like, all of the things that I want to do is medyo overachieving, medyo like really out there. And it's I've noticed now that some of these goals isn't something that you can really do in 1 year. If you get what I'm saying. So anyways, for this, I've realized that my current priority is to learn as much as I can with my current work. Because I feel like when I was writing this, I was in the period where I was in my quarter life crisis. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like, am I in the right career? And like, should I venture off into also side businesses like other boss ladies are doing? But then I realized, can I really actually do it? Like, I already have 20. I already have my current job. So like,
and is it something you want, or is it something you see everyone else is doing? So maybe it's something for me too?
So, but I realized that I keep looking for something in the future, even though I already have something in the present. So like, focus my energies on the present.
I love that.
Thank you. Rather than like pushing forward for something in the future that I'm not even sure will happen, you know?
Actually, like last night, I was listening to our quarter life crisis episode.
I listened to it last week.
I mean, it's still, for me, like, okay, parang, I kind of feel guilty because a lot of the things I said I didn't do. But at the same time, like, I love our insight back then. And for me, like, I really remember, like, when you said na, we're just comparing ourselves. If we didn't compare ourselves, would we really want this? Would we really want this in our journey? So yeah, I'm just remembering all that for the New Year's resolutions, you know?
Like, me too. I took that into account. Okay, my next one is wealth. So I want to save a certain amount of money by the end of 2019. And I feel like I sort of achieved it in a way. So for the wealth thing, like, I know you have a money tracker, right? Yeah. And I started doing one as well in the beginning of the year because I feel like it was the most efficient way for me to know how much I'm spending and how much I can save, right? But then I realized that the money tracker wasn't fit for me because I was getting very stressed about what if I skip certain transactions? And I was like, oh no, I forgot to put it in. How much did I spend again? So like the whole day. Because I'm not good at doing things right away. So for example, if I buy something, I don't track it right away in my tracker. So at the end of the day, I get really stressed. I'm like, oh my god, did I forget something? Did I forget like the 5 peso candy I bought in mini stop like 3 hours ago? Like, things like that. So I realized that it wasn't fit for me. So I changed my tactic. And what I did was every time I get my paycheck, I immediately transfer a certain amount to my bank. Like, it cannot be used. Like, it's the money that is in my bank that I can never touch. Like, it's just for savings.
The 50-30-20 rule, ba?
Oh, I don't know that. Is it 50 is for saving, 30 is for spending, and 20 is for investments?
I think 20 is for saving, 50 is what you can spend on.
Oh, I didn't know that there was a rule. I just had a monetary value that I always had to put into my bank.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so I kind of, because of that, I was able to sort of achieve that goal. And then, oh my god, there's 2 more. My god, Steph. I still have travel and health. Okay, for travel, I put here document my travels. I have yet to document my travels. I mean, in a scrapbook. Like, I want to scrapbook all my travels. So, that hasn't happened to me. So, that's a no. And then lastly, for health, eat healthier, get toner arms and stomach. So, no. I also I wasn't consistent. That was my problem. Like, I had bursts where I was like, oh yeah, be healthy, eat healthy, do like hit workouts and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I wasn't consistent enough for me to say that I actually achieved that goal that I wanted to. Yeah. Whew, that was a lot. So that was my 2019. Maybe I can share a bit of learnings of what I felt like I did wrong and what I could do and how it, I guess, and spills over to 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I realized is that resolutions, the thing is, like, when you see a year ahead of you, right, you think that you have so much time in your hands and that you have ample opportunity to fulfill a lot of different goals that you've never done. But then I think on my end, I never realized that doing goals or like adding a new goal to your life, it's time that you add to your normal daily routine. So I don't think that I consider that. So I always felt that I had ample time. But if you really break it down day by day, like, you already have a daily schedule, right? A daily routine, and adding 6 adding 6 new goals to your life is not that easy if you break it down to a day-to-day schedule. So that was the biggest thing that I realized, that it's okay to be confident, or like it's okay to want to do a lot of things in a year, but you have to make sure that it's very time bound and you understand that it has to be added into your daily routine for you to be able to achieve it, right? So I wanted to be more purposeful in what my 2020 goals were, which you kind of had a sneak peek already, but that was like my big thing, that lesson, like smaller goals but bigger impact.
But in the same note, like, I've been using Google Calendar recently. Like, for me, the new year also brought a lot of like, oh, I should use new productivity apps. And then Google Calendar has this new function wherein you put your goals.
Really?
Yeah. So I input my goals. One of my goals was, spoiler alert, workout, learn a language, something like that. And then when I put it, Google would ask, how many times a day can you give to this goal? And then I would say 3 times a day for the workout. And then what Google Calendar... 3 times a week. I can't do that. 3 times a week. And after that, Google Calendar would like input which specific days. And then on those days, it would remind you. When I saw my Google Calendar for January, I was like, oh my God, it's so jam-packed with all the goals. Like, if you see all the goals. So I had to lessen some of the goals. I had to lessen, like, I'll just tell my goals later. But basically, like, I get what you're saying. Like, that's so true. Like, you don't realize that it's so much more, because like you just see it as one sentence. But if you account for it in your daily routine, it actually adds a lot. And then if you see my Google Calendar, it's so full. But basically, it's just full of my goals. Right. So yeah. So that's a tip. Use Google Calendar goals for the new year.
Yeah, and
for your resolutions.
Yes, on taking into consideration that your resolutions, it's an addition to an already existing lifestyle that you have. Yes. Okay, so another tip that I used, or not really a tip, but another theme that I used for my 2020 goals is something that I learned from Miss Remy Ashton. I remember her talking about when she was doing her goals, or like the theme of her year. She used a word, and like everything she was doing revolved around that word. So I feel like
a one-word mantra.
Yeah, that's not an acronym, because holy hell, that acronym was a lot. So
technically, that was 6 words though.
Yeah, that's true. It's just 6 words under one big giant word. So, for me to talk about my actual 2020 goals, I'm moving on from this notebook, because this is just like my notes.
Yeah.
It's like goodbye.
Out with the old. Oh my God.
And yeah, it's fine. And then in with the new. Yay! Okay, so I'll read to you my 2020 resolutions. And hopefully, because of this podcast and this video, we will be accountable to actually doing something with our goals. No more 2019 Jillian, who's just like overwhelmed and like
overachiever.
Didn't consider the reality of life. Okay, so the word I used for my 2020 is enrich, and I bucketed it into 3 major activities, I guess. Okay, sorry. So I'll read it like this. So number 1 is I wanted to enrich my mind. Number 2 is I wanted to enrich my body. And number 3 is I wanted to enrich my wallet. So the 3 things that I really want to do is... Okay, sorry. I'll break it down. So for the mind, my 1 sentence goal is... Or like my 1 sentence... Goal? No, my 1 sentence task is to participate or engage in at least 1 enriching activity per month. So that could be anything. Like I could take up a class, I could watch a documentary, but it has to be something that brings learning into my life.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Let's take classes.
Yes! You'll be my enriching buddy.
Yes!
Okay. And then number 2 is to enrich my body. So my task here is to still tone. I really want to tone my lower abs and to feel lighter. Because I feel like, you know when you eat too much bad shit, even though you're not technically super heavy, you feel...
Lethargic.
Yeah, lethargic, and I just know that I'm not in the best shape that I could possibly be. So I really want to change that. Number 3 is to enrich my wallet. So again, like last year, I have a certain amount that I want to save this year. And then, okay, so I think this is also a nice topic. So in the next page, I think a lot of people who bullet journal does this. So I'm sure it will also apply to you. But I also have a goal tracker. So based on the buckets that I've made, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see this, but based on the buckets that I've made, I've broken it down month on month. Kasi for example, like the mind thing, right? I have to have I have to have an activity every month. So every month I have to summarize what I did to help achieve each goal that I wanted for myself. So there. So at least I'm accountable for my own self. So I see what my progress is, if I'm doing well or not, in what aspect can I improve more. So at least...
sorry. Do you already have an activity in mind for this month?
Not yet.
Okay. but I'm here.
Yes, I'm a ring you up. I'm a ring you up.
Yes.
I mean, I still have 28 days. Nope, 27 days before the month ends.
Yes, 27.
Right. Math. Asian math, man.
Yes, Asian.
Asian math. So I think that's about it. So essentially, just to sum everything up. Oops, sorry. Just to summarize everything, I overachieved last 2019. I streamlined what are my actual priorities for 2020, and I made sure that it's a simple objective, and then I'm able to track myself month on month, so that I actually see where I'm getting at with regards to my goals. Yes. Steph's turn. Ooh, so, I'm excited to hear about yours. Okay, and also eat. Okay, go.
So, so I'm not really. I don't know. Like I don't have a theme or anything. I feel like that's the right way to go about resolutions, but I don't really have a theme. I actually like had a goals accountability thread. I made a thread.
That's where That's where 20 all started.
Yeah, actually. So what I did was I posted like a thread of goals for 2019 on Twitter because I didn't have an accountability buddy, so I thought that
the world
will be my accountability buddy. So I'm just gonna read off that.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna start this thread with I keep on saying every new year, this year is gonna be the year, which is I bet I'm gonna say that later. But this time I really want it to happen, so I'll be posting my goals here so that friends and strangers who most probably don't even care will somehow hold me accountable. Some goals may be a bit far-fetched and some may be just so tiny and inconsequential, but I hope I won't be too hard on myself when I look back at this and actually not achieve anything. I totally saw myself not achieving anything. I'll be updating each goal throughout the year with their own subthreads and maybe even add more goals. I did though when we had 20. So the first goal was to finally organize my room, which I did not do. Oh. Damn. But yun, a clear mind. I actually have like a statement with each goal.
Do you want me to help you organize your room?
Yes, please. Ooh, is this gonna be... Okay, we didn't say anything, but we totally understood that. A clear mind begins with a clear space, and my space has never not been messy, and maybe that's why my life has always been so messy. Or maybe I'm just really messed up. Who knows? What? Looking back at old tweets, like, oh my god. So number 2 is sell my old stuff online. Number 3 is upload videos weekly. I didn't get to do this. Life happened. A lot of stuff happened at work. But now it's gonna be one of my goals for 2020. And this time, like, I really took a step back. I made a channel plan. I made a whole outline for the first quarter anyway. But right now, I'm gonna YouTube more with intent, you know? Intentional YouTubing.
Let's go.
Not just gonna randomly vlog my life. Like, I have a theme for YouTube too. So, there. And then my fourth is make a podcast. Jillian saw this tweet and then did you reply to it or did we just talk about it?
No, I directly messaged you.
Yeah, she DM'd me and then we talked about it and the rest is history. Ooh, I achieved something. Woo! And I subsequently added the thread na it's out. I made the podcast with my twinny Jillian. And it took me more than a quarter of the year. But everything step by step.
Aww.
Yes. And number 5 was create a zine. I also did not do that. Number 6 is finish a short comic. I also did not do that. Oh my god. And that's it. That's my goals for 2019. And I only did one.
At least.
At least.
Doing a podcast is a big thing,
Yes, and I feel like even though I wasn't able to technically finish them, I feel like I was still able to work towards it. So definitely doing these goals in 2020 will be a lot easier, you know? So, there.
Let's hear your 2020 goals, madam.
2020 goals. I kind of feel bad because like Jillian's is like so cool with her growth and themes. I don't have anything like that, but I'm just gonna list down my goals.
Okay.
So my first is be more organized. I really have to clean my room. Work out regularly. And follow a healthy diet and learn conversational Japanese because one of my plans for 2021 is to go to Japan.
Looking ahead.
Yeah, so I wanna immerse myself, you know? So there, those are my goals. And I actually read this article from the New York Times where I just want to share this with Jillian and, you know,
go ahead,
our listeners. These are the 3 major reasons the resolutions tend to fail.
Ooh.
So the first one is setting resolutions based on external forces telling us to change. So external forces can be society, can be friends. So that's the first major reason. And the second is ambiguous goals without defined markers. And the third is being unrealistic.
Okay.
So I think you know this. Like, best way to go about resolutions is to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time.
I think we talked about it in one podcast episode.
Yeah, I forgot now where though.
Yeah.
But you have to listen to all of that. We're not gonna explain it here.
Wait! Can I just say?
What?
The smart thing is also in my nose. I just didn't mention it. Wait, I'll show you. We're twinning talaga to the nth level. Here, look. Yay! Okay, yun lang.
Also, we have this tendency to have self-defeat. Like, there are 2 specific ways of self-defeat which are too much positive thinking and too little self-forgiveness.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share all that because, like, I don't know.
Sorry. So essentially, it's parang you're trying to extend out too far away. And if it doesn't happen, you beat yourself up too much about it.
So let's not do that this 2020. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm sorry, mine's like just goals.
Okay, it's fine.
So on to the next thing we're gonna do in this episode.
Our game.
Yes, our game. I'm prepared.
Oh, me too. Okay, wait. Okay, who starts first? Jack and Boy.
Okay. So I start first?
Nah, the loser starts first. Okay. Or you choose.
Alam mo, na-realize ko, hindi kita yung jacket.
Oh! So Steph won.
Yeah, I won. Okay, you can start since you lost.
Okay.
I gave paper, she gave rock. No one saw it.
Okay. So, I don't know if you've ever felt this, but sometimes I drift off into my own world and especially if I'm just like walking around and I'm not aware of my surroundings. So on multiple occasions, I've walked towards the bathroom in airports And there have been multiple occasions where I almost went in the boys' bathroom. Lol! Like, the most recent one was in China. I was just... Because sometimes in airports, right, they kind of look the same. Like, if you don't specifically look for the sign, if it's male or female. Because it's like... It's either just right or left, right? So I was just walking and I was going to the left. And then I come to this guy and I was just looking at him. I still didn't know that I was walking towards the guys here. I was just looking at him and I was going to walk past him. And then he was like, Nan? Which is like Chinese for guy. And I was like, Nan? And I was like, huh? And then I was like, oh. And then I was like, turn around, walk towards the girl's bathroom. I was so ashamed. The guy was like, what's wrong with this girl?
Wait, but did you go in?
No. I was just looking at him and I was like, Nan? And he was like, Nan? And I was like, Nan. And I was like, okay. Wrong bathroom. That happened a lot to me. Especially in college. I don't know why.
I went in the men's bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Like inside. So in Ayala...
Like you peed? No naman.
No naman.
Okay.
In Ayala Malls Cloverleaf, there are like... Of course, like in a mall, there are several bathrooms.
Yes.
But I'm always used to the bathroom on the floor with the cinema.
Okay.
But then, you know, similarly, like in the mall architectural plan, like the toilet is always like in the same spot, right?
Yes.
So I know that if I go to the
Like
CR at the end, it's always the female CR. And the first CR you see is the guy CR. So the first time I went to pee at the ground floor CR, I just went straight ahead for the CR
at the very end
because like that's the way. And then since the door was open, like you can't see the male female signs because it's always just open. So I just went in straight, as in like dire-diretso ako hanggang sa stall, and then I realized
hanggang sa stall.
And then basta outside the stall, and then that's when I realized that parang there were guys, and I was like, oh fucking shit.
This is not the girls' bathroom.
And then when I came out, and then the guard was like, that was the guy's bathroom. I'm like, I know!
I realized that's why I went out. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna one-up that? Oh, can I say?
I just one-upped yours. I won, technically.
Okay.
Did
fine.
Did I?
Who's to say? Wait, did you know in China?
We should have a judge.
I know, right? They'll be the judge. Hey, did you know in China they actually have a unisex bathroom?
Don't we all?
We do? In the Philippines?
Like in some restaurants, like one lang yung...
No, theirs is they have specifically male, specific female, and then in the middle it's unisex.
Like, just one stall? Or is it like a whole CR?
I think it's like a toilet bowl. It's a whole CR. Or like it's its own room.
Maybe there's a PWD CR.
No. Kasi diba in PWD there's the wheelchair. It's literally... It says unisex. Does it say unisex? But there's male and female.
Aww.
Right? So nice, right?
Progressive.
Yeah. Okay. Oh shit, there's sauce on mine. Wait, what do I do? Wait, let me flick the sauce now. Okay, my next one. In high school, someone told me I look like the floor.
What?
Someone tried to compliment me by telling me I look like the goddamn floor. I was like, what are you trying to tell me? Am I dirty? Am I dark? Am I flat? There.
So like our high school floor? Like our granite floor?
Yeah.
Well, it's smooth though, so maybe that was a compliment.
I don't know. See, only weird shit like that happens to me. Like, who tells a person you look like the floor? Like, he was so proud, but he was like, you know, Jillian, let me tell you something about you. I was like, oh yeah, really? What is it? You know, you look like the floor. I was like, okay. And like, I think I teared up. I was like,
I look like the floor.
What is he trying to tell me? This bitch. Okay.
Well, in college, like, somebody straight up and said, you're ugly, Steph. And I'm like...
Nice. Friendship! So when I was young, I cracked my mom's finger because she was trying to close the button of my pants because I was too fat and it never healed. So when you look at your finger, she has a like crack. Like, you know, it's cracked in the base talaga. So whenever it grows out split.
Oh my god.
Yes! Okay.
I'm so proud of that.
Yeah. I marked my mother.
Okay, mine is more recent kasi like recent stuff that happened to me that is super embarrassing. Oh wait, this is ano.
Wait, how many do you have? Kasi I kind of have a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15.
Okay, you have more pala. Okay, sige, go.
Oh my god.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Choose your battles wisely, Steph. Can you
Ooh.
beat my cracking my mom's finger?
Not really.
Ah, okay.
So this one is I call it my no money trilogy.
Oh my god. At least it's
the no money transpo trilogy. So
at least it's a trilogy.
stories in one.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So I'm not exactly proud of this, but it's one of my blooper moments in life, as my friends like to call it. But I've gotten free rides in a Jeep, in a bus, and in a tricycle because I had no money. So in the Jeep, like I was going to my cousin's, and at that time I didn't have any spare change. I only had 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then the jeepney driver was like, I can't give you change. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Did he just leave you off the hook?
Somebody paid for me.
Aww.
Yeah.
Nice stranger.
Yes. And then with the bus, like I went to my cousin's again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know why, but like the train conductor did not go by my seat. So when I arrived, by the time I arrived at my destination, the bus conductor still hadn't gotten around to my seat. So when I left, I was like, here's the payment. And then he's like, but why? And I'm like, what do you mean, but why? Nobody ever asked me. Walang naningil sa akin. And then the bus driver was like, no, the conductor dapat ang maningil sa'yo. But at that intersection, the conductor was like outside screaming for, sakay, So I was like, how can I give it to him? He's like way over there. And then the bus driver was like, so never umabot sa'yo? And then he's like, so I was like, no. And sabi niya, I guess libre na. Sabi ko, yeah! But I think what the bus driver was trying to point out was that from where I was to where we were right now, like, hindi pa siya umabot sa checkpoint where you had to pay. I think,
So it wasn't a long enough ride for you to have to pay something like that?
Yeah, I think. So, yun. I also got free fare in the bus. And then, the last is the tricycle. So, when I was in college, hatid sundo ako.
Okay.
So, I would, you know how people, like, when they leave the house, they know they don't have money kasi they have to commute?
Yeah.
Ako, like, nasa school na ako, bago ko na-realize na, I forgot my wallet at home.
Damn, okay.
At this point, like, I was going to Lana's house after school.
Okay.
So, sumakay ako ng tricycle, and then pagdating ko sa tricycle sa LRT Line 2, doon ko na-realize na, oh my God, kuya, I forgot my wallet. And we were already there. And I was like, oh my God, kuya, sorry, di ako dito modus, nakalimutan ko talaga wallet ko. And you know what kuya tricycle said? Okay. And I was like, I'm sorry! But I told him I'd pay him back. And then I looked for him afterward and I paid him back.
Oh, you found him?
Yeah, I found him.
Aww.
No, kasi like in UST, there's like this corner, like, the tricycle hub. Like where they hang out. So, basically, that's why, that's why I keep forgetting my wallet. Pero like, that's why it's such a common occurrence because I've never really had to pay the consequence. Like, I've never really had a legit consequence happen to me. Like, it's just oh my God, that's a funny story. Anyway.
And I've been in the receiving end of that.
I always find a way. Yeah, somehow.
You do. Nice. At least the story, heartwarming story. The kindness of
strangers.
That's true. Steph's and Jillian's friendship all started in the 60th or 55th? 60th anniversary of the chorale. I don't know if you know this story. So, we kind of had like a storyline. So, it was like what do you call that?
A play?
Like, it was a showcase of the students, right? And then part of the showcase was a play in the middle of, I guess, the whole thing. And most of the students there joined, but there were a select few who were part of like a smaller ensemble, and I was part of that. There was only four of us.
She was a soloist.
Not, I was just harmonizing. I didn't technically I didn't have any lines.
But like the people who were chosen to, those were soloists. You were called soloists.
Really? Diba? I don't remember. Oh my God, I was a soloist.
Yeah. So they were like chosen because they're like amazing. Why am I singing? They were like amazing. Like that. She's very talented. She's a very talented singer. Office mates, asa rin siya.
No. Well, they know. Yeah. Just kidding. So anyways, I was part of the ensemble. And I was just technically harmonizing with the group. So we didn't really have mics. But then there was this one part in the scene where they needed the ensemble kids to say a small line as part of like I don't know, just part of the story. Just to emphasize a point in the story. So, for example, you would shout just one word. So, for example, a kid would shout joy and then happiness, something like that. And then, so how it happened was that it was, what sunod-sunod? It was
Consequential?
No, parang we said it one after the other. So each student had to say one word, one after the other, and I was at the very end of the line. And I think my mind was drifting off, and I forgot it was my turn. And then, so like, I think we were all silent for 10 seconds, and then I was like, and then I remembered it was my part, and I was like, shit. Onto the mic! Onto the mic, Steph, in CCP! Yeah, I said shit. It was in CCP. I was like, shit. And then I said the word, and I did the action. And then afterwards, I got really scared. I was like, because like a lot of teachers were there, right?
And we were in a very, very Christian school.
Very, very, and then all the teachers were there, like, and I was so scared. I was like, did they hear it? Will I get an infringement report? Will they kick my ass? So there. Yeah. I cursed during a school play. A school play about, what was the play about?
David and Goliath.
About freaking David and Goliath, man.
But they stylized it, so it's called David and the Big G.
That was cute.
Yeah, that was cute.
You were part of that, right?
Yeah, I was one of
Were you the bully?
I was the cheerleader.
Cheerleader?
So basically, Goliath has this entourage. So
right.
So I would go in like, make way for the Big G. Like that was literally my line.
I forgot the story. Was Goliath a bully?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, and then
David was the bullied kid.
Okay.
And then we were in a school setting, like in a grade school setting.
Joanna was the Big G, right?
No.
Who was Big G?
It was Benjamin. You know the big guy?
Remember. No.
The Big G?
No, I don't remember anymore.
Joanna was also a soloist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was...
Are you saying Joanna's a bully?
No. I remember because she had a solo part. I remember... Yeah. Like, didn't she? Okay, anyways. Moving on. So that was my
okay.
big boo-boo during our choral practice.
So, this is...
Oh, no.
I had a crush at work back then.
Okay.
And then at that time kasi, like, I was sent to site, so I'm not in the office, but I'm still part of the company, if that makes sense. But I had this crush in the office, and I didn't know his name, but I was like, oh my god, he's so cute. Who is he?
Wait, you didn't know his name?
I didn't know his name.
Do we still have fries?
Yeah, we do.
Can I have some? Okay.
Because when we were, I know his name pala. I just know his first name. Because yun nga, like, I'm technically a new hire, so they introduced me to the whole office before, they shipped me off to site. So, I kind of had a bit of a crush on him, but like, I only know his first name. How can I stalk him with just his first name? And then suddenly, I had this eureka moment na, oh my god, I can just search for my company's LinkedIn.
Okay.
And then from my company's LinkedIn, I'm gonna search the employees.
Guys, this is very normal for girls to do. Don't worry.
And I found him. But then...
I don't like the but thens, okay?
You get a notification when somebody views your
shit.
profile.
Oh no!
As in they reveal who it is. It's not like somebody viewed your profile.
Yeah.
Stephanie Yap viewed your profile! Okay, yun lang. That's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
Wait, how did you realize that happened?
I got a notification that somebody viewed my profile.
Oh, it was him.
No naman, not naman him. Some other guy.
So you just and then you realize that, oh my god.
Yeah. And then when I googled it, yes, you can see who viewed your profile.
Oh, no!
And I was like, shit.
Did he ever like raise it up with you? Like, hey, I saw you.
No naman, but we became good friends.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that is embarrassing for me.
Is it?
What is it? No, who's that? Who's that?
There's this guy. What? He's a Hufflepuff. In your office. Is he not Howard?
No.
Oh man. Okay, I forgot. Okay. So girls, don't stalk in LinkedIn. Yes, that's the main point of this story.
I was like applauding myself. Steph, you genius. No one would have thought of stalking in
because
LinkedIn.
They know there are consequences.
Yeah.
Okay, mine.
Okay.
So I have this bad habit of mishaps happening to me twice. So I accidentally dropped my phone on the toilet, not once, but twice.
Damn, girl.
I know, right? One was in college, and then the other one was during a phone interview. And what's worse was, okay, I think this is gonna get too TMI, but I already peed.
Oh my god.
Like, it's okay if like it fell, if the water's clean, right? Like, it hasn't been used or it's been flushed now.
Yeah.
So I was like debating, do I get it or do I just leave it there for good?
your interview in the toilet?
No. I was done doing my interview and I was in the toilet.
Okay.
That was...
Needed that clarification.
So, yeah. Oh, can I talk about one more thing?
Okay, go.
So, when I was in Korea, so, you know, like, in subway stations, right, they close the door after a few seconds. Like, they don't wait for all passengers to come in. Like, if it's closing, it's gonna close, right? So, like, me and my friend, I think we were both rushing. We were together. We were standing side by side. And then we were rushing to the door. And then the door closes on us. Like, oh, thank you. Literally, it hits me here and it hits him here. We were like, doing.
Oh my god.
And then, so it opens because, like, you know, with elevators, right? When there's something stuck in between, it forces itself to open again. And so we were like, okay, we can go in now. And then as we take the first step in, it closes again on us, on our backpacks naman. And then we were just stuck the whole time like that. As in, can you imagine, like, first step, boy, and then, okay. Second step, it closes on our backpacks and we're like, okay, so what do we do now? What the fudge is this? Okay, there. Okay. I have really bad mishaps happen to me. I swear to God. Okay.
I have worse.
Okay. I have two more left. Two big ones left.
I have a lot more. I still have a lot.
Okay, go.
Okay, so this is an ongoing occurrence. Not really all that, but like this happens to me a lot because back in college, like I was part of this org.
Okay.
So a lot of people knew me, but I didn't know them.
Ew.
And then Cheng would always tell me na, oh, like somebody would always say, hi, Ate Steph, and I'll be like, hey. And then after, a few meters, Cheng would be like, di mo alam pangalan niya, no? So I go, oo nga. But like that happens to me a lot. I don't know, that's pretty awkward for me. Because like honestly sometimes like it will be an ongoing conversation and I would never mention the person's name. And
really?
Like, yeah. Totally.
Who are you again?
Like I don't Anyway, so that's like a mini cuento. So there's this thing that happened at the office. So this was embarrassing because like wait, sorry, I'm still...
Oh, hi. I can see the second-hand embarrassment radiating from me.
I feel like it's funny to me, but it's not really all that funny. But basically, a superior was next to me. And then his phone was ringing. So, it was like vibrating and stuff like that. So, I tapped to... And then sabi niya... But the superior was far away. So, he was like, end the phone call. And I pressed end. But I didn't press the end. I pressed the answer.
Oh,
and then the person said... hello, and then I panicked and then I ended it. And then everyone who was next to me in the meeting was because we were in a meeting. Everyone who was next to me in the meeting was like oh no, it's just embarrassing.
I can imagine it was so quiet. It was like end the phone call and you're like, okay, hello. Oh shit.
I panicked. I ended it.
But you didn't flip the phone like
and then it wasn't even my phone. That's the most embarrassing part. It wasn't my phone. So there, okay.
Oh, Stephanie.
Oh, Jillian.
Okay, I have two, like, these are like the pinnacle of weird shit that has happened to Jillian. Okay, the first one is, so I recently got my company issued car, right? And you know the thing with cars, right? But you don't see it, right? Because there's a story behind it. So with company issued cars, or like whenever people, it's a theme in the Filipino community that whenever you have a new car or a new home, you would ask a priest to bless it, right? Bless it.
Interesting.
Parang good luck and making sure that nothing bad happens to it. So, I didn't believe in these things. I was just like, So, I didn't bless it. I had the car already on the first day and I was driving it around. So, on the first morning that I parked the car in our office building, I accidentally backed up on someone. And that never happens to me. On a parking lot, Steph, all the cars there were stationary. How are you going to back up on someone if they're all stationary? So that was the first thing that happened to them. My day started off bad because of that. And I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll just talk to the person I backed up in. At least we both have insurance. I'm sure it'll all work out. So that was okay. And then during the night, so this day happened. Okay, both of these occurrences happened on the same day. And this was the day when I first rode my car. So at night, my mom calls me up and she was like, hey, can you pick me up? Because I think the driver at that time was not available. I was like, sure. Just for a brief background, like, my way back home from the office is along C5. But my mom's office is along EDSA.
Yeah.
So I had to pick her up and go home through EDSA. And you know, in Aurora Underpass, there are overpasses at the top where people can walk, right? So as I was driving down, I see the car to my immediate left suddenly stop. And then I see this thing I saw a thing fly down, and then the car to my immediate left stop. And I was like, maybe you know when there are random newspapers that fly and then hit the windshield? So that's why car stopped, right? I was like, maybe that happened. And then just as I passed through him, a giant trash bag falls on the roof of my car and breaks my entire windshield.
What?
Yeah, I have pictures. I'll show you later. But yeah, as in it cracked my entire windshield, and it was this big of a trash bag full of like rice and whatever. And the worst part was when I went to the police station, because you have to have a police report for you to claim your insurance, right? He said that I wasn't the first one who had this happen that night or that day. I was the third one.
People were throwing it over the overpass?
Yeah, people were saying it was a modus daw. Para you get out of your car.
Did you get out?
No, I didn't. I was just... No, I had to... Because the thing with EDSA is everybody's driving straight, right? So I had to continue driving even though it fell. I mean, I didn't want to stop kasi baka...
Pero buti hindi naharang yung view mo.
Slight. Like, mga half lang ng car yung naharang niya. So I could still see over it. So I was just very careful in driving it. The fuck, right? Okay, so that wasn't done. So the issue with my car was done. But feeling ko that week was just not a good week for me. So in the same week, Sir John Kokongwei, the CEO of my company, died. Founder of my company, died. So we all visited him in his wake, right? And then I was walking, I fell down. Like I rarely fall down these days. I fell down and I scraped myself bloody. Like it was like literal blood was gushing through my knees. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this week? And then my office mates were joking that I don't have to have my car blessed. I think that they think that I should be the person that should be blessed with holy water, because that week was crazy. It was an unlucky string of events. So my car is still in the repair shop. LOL.
When did this happen?
December?
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Oh, yeah, it happened.
Wow, amazing.
Right.
No wonder I never saw the car.
Yeah.
Okay, I went, company issued car. Wait, huh?
Yeah, the first day that I rode it, it was a gunner.
This is why people believe in superstition.
Yeah.
Okay. So I also have a story about the priest.
Oh, what?
So this was before the board exam. So a bit of background. We went to a Christian school, but UST is a Catholic university. So when I first came to the university, and the Angelus was playing at 12. What? The Angelus. So don't you have Angelus in Ateneo? So basically like...
This is the prayer?
Yeah, campus-wide, like, there would be a song and a prayer, and you would have to stop walking. And I just kept on walking, and I was like, why are people stopping? And that's when I realized it was actually a Catholic thing. So, I go to the UST chapel for masses sometime, but it's usually, like, required. So, alam mo yun, I just don't know what happens. But I know the whole, where they give you the ostia?
Yeah.
Where they lead you. So, parang whenever that happens in mass, I just pass because, I don't know, it's not my thing. So, come around board exam, I was really, really nervous and I really wanted to pass the board exam. Like, oh my god, it was so much stress. So, our college had this special mass in the gallery of our building. So, they hold a special mass for us, and then, there were monoblock chairs. So it wasn't officially a chapel, but basically it was a service. And then the priest was praying over us, and he was like, yeah, you can do it, like in a priesty way. And I forgot how he said it, but I was very touched by what he said.
Aww.
So when the whole, ostia feeding thing came, I was like, what if I try, like...
Oh no.
Just try it.
Oh no.
So I asked my friends, is it offensive if I'm a Christian but I eat ostia? And they're like, no, it's fine. The church welcomes everyone. You can try it. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. So, we walked up and then the priest gave me the ostia. And I saw people were getting... Kasi like in other churches, I see the priest deliver it directly to the person's mouth.
Yeah. Right,
but
right.
in our service, like the priest was giving it to the person naman. And then, they would just eat it like this. So when it came to me, he gave it to me.
Okay.
And then I walked away.
Okay.
Because I was planning to eat it in my seat. Because
Okay.
like in my church, in CCF, whenever we have the bread and the blood of Christ, you know, we have breadsticks and grape juice.
Yeah.
It's usually served
To
as
you.
we're seeing. Yeah, as
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
seeing. So parang I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat this at my seat. So I just got it. And then, you know, I was walking down the ano tawag doon?
Aisle?
Aisle na. And then suddenly, there was a commotion. I was like, what's happening? But I'm the type of person kasi who doesn't really care. So I just walk straight. And they were like, Steph! So I was like, what? And apparently, like, the priest, like, chased me down the aisle.
What? Why?
Because I had to eat it in front of him.
Oh!
And I was like, he was doing like this. And I was like, and then I still walked, and then parang he chased me, and then that's when he said, you have to eat it, and I was like, okay, and then I ate it.
I didn't know that it had to be in front of the priest.
Yeah, it had to be in front. Yeah, I didn't know it either. And then when I get
Thanks for
back to my
telling me.
seat, everyone was like, why did the priest chase you? Because they couldn't hear our conversation or something. But then they just saw na he left his spot and then he chased me all the way. And then that's when I said, I didn't know you were supposed to eat it in front of him. And apparently there have been cases wherein people just steal it. And I'm like,
What?
What would I do with this small piece? Like, it's not like I'm gonna keep it for like keepsakes. I know, so that was pretty embarrassing because when the service ended, like everyone was coming up to me, why did the priest chase you? Why did he chase you? I just want...
Because I didn't eat the cookie in front of him. Embarrassment!
Oh, yeah. So, yun. Okay, you next.
Okay, I have one last lang. Are you ready? How many do you have pa? Do you still have like...
I have a lot pa, pero the rest can be bonus na lang.
Ay, okay. I have bonus then. Okay, like tiny lang. Okay. This is the mother of all embarrassing. No, it's not embarrassing shit. It's just like weird stuff that happens to me. So this all happened in one day. Like this is my favorite story to tell people because it's just so out there. Okay. So you know in college, right, I went for an exchange program in Korea. So when you join a exchange program in our school, you're not alone in the school that you chose. So for example, my school was Iwa. I was with 3 other girls. So at least you're not alone going there. So the original plan was for all of us to fly together and settle in. But I didn't get my visa approved at the day of our flight. So I had to change my flight and basically I had to fly myself alone. And I think this was my first time flying by myself, like without a friend or a parent to like guide me, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty easy. The process is pretty easy, but it's just a little frightening. So after immigration, like you have, or was it? Yeah, after immigration, you have one last security check for your baggage before you get into your terminal gate, right? So I only had my carry-on baggage left with me, and it was being passed through the X-ray. And I was like, I thought everything was okay and dandy, and I was walking through na. And then the security guard was like, "Excuse me, ma'am. I found something in your suitcase that was a bit sketchy." And I was like, "Oh, what is it?" He said he saw scissors. And I was like, "Scissors? I don't remember packing scissors." And though, like, as a student, like, the only 2 options is either scissors in a sewing kit or, like, yung pencil case scissors, right? And I was like, I don't remember, but okay. So I opened my bag, I checked my stuff, I closed it again. I was like, "Sorry, sir, I don't see anything." And he was like, "Okay, let me just pass it through again. Maybe I just missaw it." And then when it comes out, he was like, "Mom, I really do see scissors. Can we like take all of your stuff out? Maybe it's just hidden among your crap." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So we take everything out. Like literally, there's nothing left in my suitcase. And we looked through all of my stuff, and there were no scissors. So he was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna bring the empty suitcase into the X-ray machine and see what's up." So it goes back into the X-ray machine. And then when it comes out, he was like, "There's still scissors." I was like, "What is up with these scissors? There are no scissors in any..." I was like, "I don't know where the scissors are." And then he was like, "Ma'am, can I kapa?" You know, what's kapa in English? Can I kapa your suitcase? Like touch the inside. Like feel the inside. Yeah. Touch the inside. He was like, "Ma'am, can I kapa your suitcase?" So because sure, fine, whatever. I'm like, at this point, I'm super confident that there was nothing. And then he started touching because you know suitcases, right? There's the hardcover and then there's an inseam pa.
Yeah.
So he was like touching it and then he was like, "I feel something here."
Oh my God.
In the inseam. Because he was like, I'll open it, ha. So I'm like, no problem. Then he opens it, finds something. You know what he takes out?
What?
Freaking garden shears. Rusty garden shears!
Inside your luggage?
The weird part was, the luggage was just borrowed from my aunt. And I was like, so he was like, okay, I'm gonna confiscate this, okay? So I was like, of course, confiscate it all you want. Just, I'm innocent! I'm innocent! Yeah, and then when I passed again, I was like, Mom, do you know that we have garden shears in the carry-on luggage you gave me? She was like, what? Sabi ko, yeah, it's so sketchy. It's hidden inside the line. Yeah, sabi ko, that's what? She was like, I don't know. She's like, as long as you're out, sabi ko, yeah. But it's still so weird. And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, oh, okay. It doesn't end there. So I get on the plane. Okay, so usually, right, when you get on a plane towards a destination country, it's full of the locals, right? I was full of, so around me were Korean guys and girls. And then, so I was just having like a good time sitting. And then this girl behind me stands up. And she starts, I'm seated in the aisle seat. So she walks along the aisle and then she suddenly faints in front of me.
Faint?
She faints in... Girl!
I've never seen a person faint.
She literally, she's walking and then she just falls. And then the guy beside me was like, oh, you know the Korean, like, oh yeah. And then he was like, what? And then it's so funny because none of the stewardess were like noticing her because everybody was at the back.
Yeah.
And then because the Koreans couldn't speak English, they couldn't like call for her. So I was like, Ate! Somebody fainted! And then what's so funny was the girl fainted because she was constipated. She was suffering from stomach pains. That's why she fainted. It was so funny. Her boyfriend was like, oh, she need bathroom, poop, cannot poop, faint. And I was like, I get it. Constipation at its worst. That was so funny. Okay, so the whole plane mishap ended. So we land. Oh, sorry. Backtrack. I recently went on a Korean trip with Elise. You know this, right?
Yes.
You know the same thing happened.
Somebody fainted.
Fainted again. Wait, she was seated lang. Yeah.
A Korean?
No. This one is a Filipina old lady.
Okay.
But the thing is, she fainted I was in the aisle seat and she was in the seat beside me. She suddenly coughed up like and then fainted. Like she was like and then the stewardess was like, Mom, are you okay, Mom? And then they had to page for someone in the airplane if there was a doctor. As in, is there any doctor? Yeah. I don't know what her problem was eh. Basta she was kind of old na. And then I don't know if she was also constipated. Baka kasi nagsuka siya ng food. Eh, diba usually if nagsuka ka ng food, it's either something wrong with your stomach, yeah. I was like, what is up with me and these fainting spells in Korean flights? Specific to Korean flights, ha? That was funny. Anyways. So I was not done pa. The weird night I had was not done. So we land in Korea. So my ETA was supposed to be 10. No, 9 p.m. And I lived in a dormitory that closes at 11. So I have to be at the dormitory by 11 or else I won't have a room to stay in that night, right? But as per Cebu Pacific, our flight got delayed. So I landed at 10 p.m. So I was like really stressed now. So I only had 1 hour to get my luggage. So the good thing was my dad was able to contact a tourist agency to come pick me up and bring me to the school. The dormitory closes at 11, but because of our delayed flight, I get to the Incheon airport at 10 p.m. So like I will only have like 1 hour to get my stuff, go to the car that my dad hired, which was from a travel agency, and get to the school on time. So the travel itself takes 1 hour. So like both of us were really worried that I wouldn't get in the dormitory on time. So we were like, so I was like, Sam, what do I do? Like, is there any place I could sleep in? And he was like, I don't know, man. Oh, I know, I have a sister. If it doesn't work out, you can go and sleep with my sister. But syempre, like, imagine like a college student who's never been in another country alone. Yeah. It's kind of weird for me to like, I'll just sleep in a random person's house. Like, what? But we still tried. So we went to the campus. The front gate was locked. So we were like, okay, maybe we can sneak in through the back. So we go to the back. We tried to look for the dormitory admin office. It was closed because it was already past 11. I was like, what do I do? And then, okay, so the thing with dormitories in Korea kasi, so your room has to be opened by your ID. And then, before you even get into the building, you have to also tap your ID to the like building door. So like there was no way talaga for me to go in unless I had my ID, which I was supposed to get from the admin office. So anyways, I was looking around and then I saw this couple. This naglalandi sila. Like they were like being all cutesy and stuff. Like the girl was like, Oppa. Oppa. Yeah. So she was a student and I saw that the door was open. So I was like, bye, Sam! And I got my luggage and I ran for the door and then I sneaked behind her. I was like, bloop.
Thanks, Opa.
Yeah, and I know kasi what my dorm room number was. So because of them, I was able to get to my dorm room and have a safe, restful night in.
Thank you.
So that ends my weird Korea trip. There.
Interesting.
You, do you have anything that can top that? Any weird thing?
Mine's not weird talaga. Mine's just embarrassing.
Really?
And it's all because of me.
Okay, tell me what else happened?
Okay, so this is for me, like, this is the epitome of, like, the most embarrassing thing that has probably happened in my whole life.
Okay.
So, this was back when I was still with my old firm. And a supplier of ours invited us out for karaoke. You know, like a year-end party.
Oh my God,
Thank
karaoke.
you.
Yeah.
Right? Parang thank you for buying from us. Thank you for specifying us. So, ayun, we had karaoke. And then, at this time, I was very, very into Blackpink.
Mm-hmm.
As was Tiffany. So Tiffany is my friend from work. We were blinks. And she was saying na how disappointed she was that karaoke didn't have Blackpink songs. And I was like, yeah, so disappointing. But then again, I was thinking we couldn't sing it anyways. But that was my frame of mind. So I had karaoke. And take note, like, I wasn't drunk. I just want to say na all the embarrassing things that happened to me, I was not drunk. I was very sober.
Which is worse.
You know how people say na, oh my God, I got so drunk and this happened to me. Mine is always like, oh my God, this happened to me. And people would ask, were you drunk? No, I was completely sober. So, it was around this time. I was also with Thea. So, Thea was our intern. And she was invited to the party then. And then Thea had this sort of personal crisis. And I couldn't hear her inside. So I was like, let's talk outside the karaoke place. Kasi they rented the whole place out eh. So she was telling me her personal crisis. And then parang, we've talked it over. And then it was like resolved. And then we were just chilling na lang outside. Because it was so noisy inside. I swear to God. As in, you can still hear, like, the music from outside. But at least we can hear each other outside.
Okay.
So suddenly, I hear Kill This Love, yung ten-ten-ten. And I was like, oh my God, Tiff! So I went straight back in to the karaoke place.
In the wrong room?
No.
Oh, okay.
Fucking glass.
Oh no!
So this was the door. It was glass kasi.
Yeah.
But this was the door. This was like a glass panel. I was like, boog! Kasi like...
Oh my God, you're like a cartoon where you're like...
Oh, yeah!
Boog! Like that?
Like if the whole door... Like if the glass panels were here, I was talking to Taya and I was like, oh my God, Blackpink! Boog! And okay, you know what? That's not even the most embarrassing part. Like the boss and the mga higher-ups of... I'm gonna say the supplier name. Accent Laminates, I love you. But like, that was so embarrassing. But they were there in the parang reception area. So they saw everything. This was the first time wherein I was laughing so hard na I fell. Alam mo yung in animes or in K-dramas na parang you're gonna fall. And I'm like, that's so dramatic. That never happens in real life. As in, I can't breathe. As in, I was like doing like this on the floor. And then Thea was also laughing so hard. We were both on the floor laughing. And then the accent laminate guy, he comes out, he says, nakita ka yun. Nakita namin lahat yun. And I was like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. But you know what? So, sobrang oily na mukha ko. May mark yung
Oh my God!
May mark yung face ko. Tapos sabi nga niya, so ito yung nose mo, ito yung forehead mo, ito yung ano mo. And sabi ko, yes.
Very good. That is my anatomy.
Yes. Tapos yung anong kwento namin kay Tiff lahat. Kasi sobrang tawa kami ng tawa lahat. Pero like, sobrang nakakahiya. Pero like, oh my God.
Oh my God, Steph.
Oh my
Only
God.
you.
Right. Yeah, that's what people keep telling me. Alam mo, like, I have this friend, Jo, who told me na parang, alam mo, sometimes I think na, oh, shit, why does this always happen to me? Why does shit always happen to me? But then you tell me about your life, and I feel suddenly great. Because my life is infinitely shittier, you know? So, there's that.
Oh my God.
Do you want to hear the bonus rounds?
Okay. So, can I just talk about like one slightly drunk incident that kind of happened? That thing. Well, not really. Okay, so we were at a friend send-off party like despedida, and I have a very low tolerance for alcohol, as I've repeatedly mentioned many times in this podcast. I wanted to drink
in this episode, and she didn't.
Yeah, so I'm just not a big alcohol person. But so I was drinking Smirnoff which was, it's not that bad, but how many vodka percent was it? Like 3 or 4? Anyways, or like 6. So I drank that. I think I was like a wee bit, just a little tipsy, And so we were sitting down on a table. And then so there were 2 tables. I was at this table and a friend of mine was in this table. And then there was an empty seat beside her. And she was like, sit here, come sit beside me. And I was like, okay then. So I stand up. I go sit in her seat. And then suddenly she stands up. Because I think she was gonna talk to someone. And so another person comes along and then suddenly sits beside me. And the thing was kasi, I don't like people, I'm not comfortable with strangers sitting beside me. So that guy kasi, it was someone I was not very close to pa. So I was like, damn, this friend of mine just left me. So I stood up and then I started screaming at her. I was like, why did you leave your seat? What? In front of everyone, there was like 40 of us. I ran to the room. I would open it. It's like, why did you leave your seat? And he was like, what's the problem? Someone else is now in your seat. And she was like, is that supposed to be it's a problem. Okay, so that was me, a little tipsy. There, that was it. You know when there are things that you just keep in your mind? It went out.
Well, honestly, like I don't need a drink for that to get out.
Oh,
I'm very transparent, actually. I think that's why I don't have much embarrassing drunk stories. Oh, but I do have one. I do have a drunk story. There was this party kasi. This was a blogger event. So usually with blogger events, there's always food.
Yeah.
So what I do, I
kind of think I know this. Okay, so you go.
Yeah, so I didn't eat a snack because I was thinking, no, there's probably food there. I don't want to, kasi sayang, if you're gonna
it's
get
free food,
like, ba't ka magpapakabusog sa office, diba? So when I get there, apparently there's no food, there's only drinks. So I just drink and drink. And usually I can get a lot. But, yun nga, parang if walang laman tiyan mo, sobrang malalasing ka. So I didn't realize this and I was so tipsy. But good thing, this event was very near to my friend's place. Kasi she lives around Makati eh. So, I went to her place and then, oh my God, pinagtatawanan niya ako. Kasi parang, as in, alam mo, sabi niya, di ka kumain. So, she explained to me the whole thing na dapat nga kumain. Stuff like that. And I was like, I didn't know. I don't drink regularly. And there's always food.
Except this one time.
Yeah. So, kumain kami and umabot sa point na like, alam mo yung spoon and fork, like, I couldn't hold my spoon and fork together. I was like doing this like the whole time. So, yun, that was pretty embarrassing. Kasi, kasi she lived in a condo and her guards saw me and then I was like at this, you know when you're drunk you just want to lie and then they're like, ma'am, bawal yan. I'm like, sorry. And I was like, ma'am, bawal yan. Ma'am, natutulog ka. I'm sorry, I'm just staying at the lobby. Check's taking a while. So I don't know, that was embarrassing for me.
Drunk Steph. Oh, we can't be drunk together.
Oh, so these are mga bonus na lang.
Okay, go.
I don't know if you do this, but like when you're at your office seat, diba sometimes you check your reflection if like may tinga ka or what.
Yeah.
So I was doing that because I just ate, and then suddenly my boss was like Steph, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Because I was looking at it like a long while, around. And I was wearing earphones, so I was like, Steph. So that was one of them. And then, ano pa ba?
I guess the conclusion to this is our life is full of bloopers.
This also happens to me a lot. Naman a lot. I opened someone else's car.
How?
Okay, so I don't know cars. I'm not good at remembering cars. And then I was going to Jillian's house for a podcast episode. And then, sabi ko, but I was really groggy. So I asked the driver if he found a McDo drive-thru. If we can drive through, I'll get coffee. And then he said, okay, but then walang drive-thru. And then he was like, oh, we can go to this McDo. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Walang drive-thru eh. But he was like, no, it's fine, I'll park. So he parks. So I remember it's a white car. So he drops me off. I get my coffee. I go out. I see the first white car. I open it. There was a guy sleeping. I was like,
like that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is the wrong car. And I'm like, ano nga ba plate number? So I have to check my Grab ba? And I was like, oh my God, Kuya Grab. I went to that car. And apparently, Kuya Grab parked like...
So he saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was like, Mom.
Yeah. Kaya actually, like may one time, like, si Lana, sinundo niya ako. And then, she didn't tell me what car she brought. This is Lana's fault. So sabi niya, Steph, I'm outside. And then I see a car outside. And I'm like, Lana, anong car mo? And then, this car suddenly, alam mo yung
yeah. The light, the headlights.
Oh, the headlights. And I'm like, calling Lana. And then until to the point, Lana was like, ako to! Why won't you come in? And but her windshield kasi like sobrang tinted.
That's called maniac tint.
Yeah. You have that, Lana. So I've just been so scared. Like that also happened with me when she picked me up. She was like, I told you I was bringing a Montero. And I'm like, do I look like I know what a Montero looks like?
You have to roll down your damn window so I know if it's you or not.
That happens to me a lot. So yun. Have you ever had the experience of like yung nagtagos ka sa
Oh yeah, plenty of time. Oh
ng ibang
no,
tao?
just my own house.
So tagos is
when you're on your period and it goes through your clothes.
And then it stains the upholstery.
Yeah.
I stained Harley's upholstery with my
no.
bed. It was so bad. It was a lot.
No.
And if you've been to his house, it's like Victorian architecture. So like it's full of patterns and golds, and it was so embarrassing. Pero buti na lang, his yaya was very understanding. I was like, it's okay, it happens all the time. I was like, no, I'll wipe it. No, let me do it. It's so embarrassing. Especially because like my friend Harley, like, well, Harley has a sister, but it's still embarrassing for me. Like
it's a guy friend.
Yeah, it's a guy friend. But it's a good thing na his yaya was so understanding. Actually, all of them. There were like 4 of them there. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I remember one in high school. Oh my God, Steph. I swear to God, I was so weird in high school. So there was this one time where I learned how to back bed.
What's that?
Like when you go on your back and then you arc your back, so it looks like you're like this. You're like an arc, like this.
Oh, that's cool.
But you do it like that. You go like that, and then your body looks like it's arced, right? So I was like, oh my God, I learned a new skill. I should show it off during recess in high school.
Oh my God.
And like, because you know when you see your crush, then you're like, oh my God, I have to like flex in front of my crush.
Literal flex.
Yeah. So I was like flexing, and then I fall down. And like, you know, when you fall down, that was the sound, and our floor was concrete. So, oh my God, that fucking hurt my back. But that was...
Maybe that was why the guy said you look like the floor when you fell.
Oh my God! But that wasn't my crush, but still that guy.
That guy. Was that the same year?
Yeah, it was the same year.
Maybe that was why.
That was why. That was
one of Julia's life mysteries.
That was so
solved.
embarrassing, Steph.
Who's your crush?
I'll tell you later. Okay. I have another one. Okay, sorry. I'm so weird when I'm around my crushes. Okay, so in grade 6, I think everybody knew this. I had the really big crush on Wilbert Lee. Bless his soul. He has departed from this earth, but I really had a really big crush on him when I was in grade 6. And then I remember on his birthday, I was like, I have to do something special for him. Like, I have to show up for my crush, you know. So I wrote him this letter, But what was worse was, I put like a 40 peso bill inside of it. I mean, I was like his sugar mama. I was like, in the letter, I was like, yeah! It was so bad. In the letter, I wrote,
what did you write? Okay, go.
I forgot it, but I specifically wrote, I wrote there, I put here 40 pesos because I know you really like potato corner. So please use this money to buy your favorite food. Something like that. Yeah. It was so... And then I went to the classroom. And then, you know, remember our classrooms had blinds, right? Mm-hmm. So like I was just waiting outside in the blinds. And I don't know if it was Elise's. I called someone's attention to call him to come. And then I passed it along. And then I ran away. That was... God, Steph, can you imagine? I gave my crush 40 pesos so he could buy his favorite snack. I'm literally his sugar mama in grade 6.
I feel like you should have given him the snack, period.
Right? I don't know, man. With the letter... shit. Can you just... Oh, God. During recess when everybody was present, it's a good thing that people have very bad memories. So I think I'm the only one who remembered that. So bad. Like, I was really obsessed with him. It was kind of crazy. But yeah.
Okay, do I have baba?
Let me think.
Oh, this happened in college. I was a 3rd in the batch. So I had to do a special speech. I had to do the prayer in front of, for the whole graduation rites because I was 3rd in my batch. So the coordinator, he told me na after the song, that's when you start walking.
Okay.
Because there's like this whole thing before it's your thing. So if you walk after the song, you'll have enough time to go to the stage. Because like we were in like the whole... I don't know if you've seen the Quadri Pavilion.
Not yet,
in
not
UST.
yet.
It's like really, really big.
Okay.
So it would take me a long time to
Okay.
walk around. So basically, he was saying, after the song, that's when you walk. After the song, I walk. But then the thing that was supposed to be before my prayer was not there.
Oh.
So, you know, there was an announcement. May we call Stephanie and Steph Yap to hold the opening prayer? And I was walking as fast as I can. And there was just this like dead silence.
While they were waiting for you to go up.
It's like I was going around.
It's like, oh, faster!
Yeah,
Faster!
and then I was like, crew. And you know what's worse? I tripped.
Oh no!
Because I was walking too fast. I was in heels. And then I tripped. Pero by the time I tripped, I was like around the front na. So
Nobody could see you?
the people there, they were my professors.
Ah, okay. So it was all chill.
Should I have been more embarrassed? But I feel like I was less embarrassed because it was my professors. It was not the general public.
Okay.
So I tripped a bit. But I didn't fall.
Yeah.
I
Like, it was just like stumble. You just
yeah.
stumbled.
And then finally, I get to the stage. Let us now bow our heads in prayer.
Oh my god.
And then I was like, come on. Why did you tell me that? Anyway, so yeah.
And then you didn't give me enough time. Okay, I remember one recent one during our China trip. It's not really
Yeah.
big, but it's just embarrassing. So, there's this river cruise that we went on. And
The
then,
Bund?
huh?
The Bund?
What now?
The Bund?
The
River?
Bund? No, it's Guilin. It's a Lijiang River cruise. So the boat we were in had 3 levels. So there was like the level where we reserved, or like where we were at, the second level, and then the third level where it was the observation deck. So I was on the observation deck, and then I think there were only like 2 of us cousins there. And then my Lola came up and she was like, I want a picture with all of y'all. So I was like, okay, I got you, Lola. I'm gonna call our cousins. So I went down and I forgot that there were 3 levels. So I went to the second level. I opened the door to the room. I tripped, like I literally tripped in. And then when I stood up, I yelled, "Kids!" Like really loudly. And then everybody stood up, was Chinese. And I was like, oh no! Wrong! And what's worse is the whole trip was 4 hours long. So I kept seeing the Chinese people around and I was like so embarrassed. Like I really, like, you know that kind of scream that's like your entire abdomen, like crunching. You're like, kids! And then I was like, not the kids, Chinese people. Back away, backing slowly away. So yeah, that was an embarrassing thing that happened.
So yeah, I guess that's it. That's embarrassing moments of the decade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Happy
Yay.
Goodbye to 2019. Hello 2020.
And comment down below which one was your favorite embarrassing moment.
And who do you think had it worse? Me or
Yeah.
Steph?
But alam mo, like some people have, no, this was a joke again. Like she told me na parang yung buhay mo, parang puro bloopers lang. And then whenever I say something.
Oh my god, I remember the dessert museum when you fell
Oh my
on the
God.
slide. What happened again? On the stairs? Did you fall on the
Because
stairs?
like in Dessert Museum, there was like this slide. So I slid. And then I slid
Too
all
far?
the way.
Yeah. I think your legs were like this na.
Yeah. Because like the slide was up here. And then I'm like, whoa! As in like my whole body was on the floor. Well, there's a vlog about that on my channel, the Dessert Museum vlog. I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. That was fun.
Yeah,
It's
so
nice to
many moments.
relive our...
You know, with this episode was actually one of our episode plans back in last year.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the plans, diba?
Yeah.
And the accent laminate, the window, the glass was...
After?
No, that incident, I remember that was around the time we discussed it. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna reserve this. I wanted to get Julian's full reaction to that.
I thought you went in the wrong room, but no, you went into glass.
Oh my God, so embarrassing. Yeah, grabe talaga.
It's okay. It's stories like these that make life more exciting.
Yes. Here's to the new decade.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year! Hey, it's Steph.
Hey, it's Gill.
And here's some tea we're about to spill
About what life is like being 20.
some things. It's 20.